was a pretty frustrating Lions game to watch. Just another second half implosion. Like, one thing we've learned from the Lions, that this has been an issue for years, is that this team cannot fucking finish a game for some odd fucking reason. Just some reason they cannot finish a game. Before we talk about what happened with the Lions game this week, we got everything else to talk about for Detroit sports this week. So first off, we had the Red Wings played this week. So 3 games. Of course, the first time this year the Wings lost in regulation. So that undefeated streak ended with the Wings losing to New Jersey and then losing to Boston. And I mean, the Boston one doesn't hurt as much because Boston's still a really solid team from top to bottom. Like, Boston's gonna be a tough team to beat this year. Like, Boston's really been off to a good start this year. Now, whether they can keep it up or not is the question. Because the season's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But hey, the Wings were able to get at least a win this week against Minnesota, beating those Wild. That poverty fucking team. In that fake-ass state of hockey. So at least the Wings were able to beat the Minnesota there. So hey, at least the Wings still got something. They're still 4-2-2, and they're still in a pretty good position in the division. And at least in the wild card race too. So, and of course, still very early in the season. So still a long ways to go. But the Wings Wings so far having a really solid month of October. Still got one more game left for the Wings this October before we move into November. And of course, that's tomorrow night when the Wings play Buffalo against the fucking Sabre, that shit show known as the Sabres. So yeah, here's hoping the Wings can get one more win to end this month off before we head into this November, when we got Washington and the Islanders to start off November. But yeah, the Wings off to a pretty good start, so. Of course, next up we have the Pistons, of course. The Pistons not much to see here, you know. It's just the struggles of having a young team, just trying to learn and get their feet wet. Like the Pistons, their issue's pretty simple. That team is still learning how to win games and try and finish them. And they were able to get a win Sunday night against Golden State. So that was a good win. And especially this week was also with the Golden State in the second game against Atlanta. Those games were also the return of the teal jerseys, which I know a lot of people all hated the jerseys. I never hated the jerseys. I always liked the teal jerseys. I thought they were pretty unique and interesting. I actually own a teal jersey. The only Pistons teal jersey I have is the Red Hill one. Like, I always thought that was a pretty cool jersey. Not gonna lie there. So yeah, it's good to see the teal jerseys back. So yeah, really cool to see it back. I always loved the teal. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Pistons, dropped 2 this week to Atlanta, but we were able to get the win against Golden State. Just let me just say this. Once this Pistons team figures out how to win games, once they figure out how to finish games, this team is going to be damn hard to beat. The Pistons and the Wings are both trending in the right direction. 100%. Once the Pistons figure out how to finish games, that team is going to be damn hard to beat. Now, whether Dwayne Casey is the guy or not is yet to be seen. Now, I guess that's a time-will-tell situation. We'll come back to that later in the season, at least around mid-halfway point of the year. And now to the Lions game. Well, this game, it's just very weird. Every time the Lions offense plays well, the defense plays like dog shit. But when the defense plays well, the offense plays like dog shit. Like, are we gonna have a fucking game this year where both the offense and defense play well? Because, I mean, it's inevitable we're gonna have a game at some point this year where the offense and defense both equally play like dog shit. But, good God, I mean, it was looking like a very promising start when the Lions jumped out to that 14-0 lead early. But if we know anything in this league, it's never about how you start. It's always about how you finish. And this team cannot finish a game. The first half was very good. They had a very good explosive first half of the game, jumping out to that 27-17 lead. And then the second half happened where the team just completely imploded. The Lions' offense did everything right in this game, made no turnovers. Just defense not getting a whole lot of pressure. That Tua turns the ball over in the second half. And Tua just had a pretty solid game in the second half and was able to keep the Dolphins in this game. And then the Dolphins just were able, once the Dolphins got the lead in the third quarter, they were just able to run the clock out the rest of the game. And also the Lions, the only thing I'll knock the Lions on the offense is not using DeAndre Swift at all in this game. And not establishing anything at the line of scrimmage with the run game. Because this was the first game where this is DeAndre's first game back, his first game with no restrictions. And what did the Lions do with an unrestricted DeAndre Swift? Say it with me, everybody. Absolutely nothing. 5 fucking carries for like 7 yards. Really? All that hype about DeAndre Swift coming back this week for that? Like, for fuck's sakes, DeAndre Swift is a fucking beast. Fucking use him for fuck's sakes. If he has no restrictions, fucking use him, goddammit. At least he was able to get a receiving touchdown and be somewhat relevant in the passing game, but still, he's your number 1 running back. Use him like a number 1 running back for fuck's sakes. At least Jamal Williams was still being the beast that he normally is. But just the normal issues this team has. This team just cannot finish a game. That's been the main issue this team has had. They cannot finish a fucking game to save their life. And everyone that thinks this is a Campbell issue, no, it's not a Campbell issue. Because not only has this been an issue under Dan Campbell, this has been an issue under Matt Patricia, Bill is an issue under Jim Caldwell, under Jim Schwartz, under Rod Marinelli, under Mariuccia, Morninghue. Fine, the list goes on and 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 on. I could go all day with that. Just this team cannot finish a fucking game for some odd reason, no matter what the Lions do. Even if they do everything by the book correctly, they still cannot fucking finish a game. Like that's gonna be the only thing that sinks this rebuild or not. Is if this team can finish games or not. If they can find a way to finish games at some point, then this rebuild will thrive. But if they can't, it will just sink like every other rebuild the Lions have had for the last 6 decades. Like, this is just the pains of a rebuilding time, or a teardown here, rebuild, like a full teardown. Like, it's just been an up and down season. A lot of positives, but a lot of negatives. But just, we just need to have when the Lions have a game where at least the offense and defense both play well. But yeah, this was just a frustrating loss. Like, because the Lions had the Dolphins right where they wanted them, and they just let the Dolphins slip away into the sea. Like, just a very tough game there. Like, I wasn't 100% confident entering this game. Like, I had a feeling the Lions weren't going to win this game, but they did a little better than the Lions did a little better than I thought it did. Since I had the Lions losing this game by 7 and they lost by only 4, but that's not a whole lot, though. But yeah, it kind of went a little more high scoring than I thought it did, but hey, if there's any positive from this whole week so far, I actually won $152 off sports betting. So at least I made some money this week. At least that's the only positive this week. That and the Lions announcing that they will have a statue of Barry Sanders at Ford Field next year. Honestly, the Barry Sanders statue, that was like the only positive from this game. Because it's about time Barry Sanders got a fucking statue at Ford Field now. The fact that Barry Sanders didn't have a statue at Ford Field was fucking criminal, to be honest. But yeah, I'm glad they're finally doing that. That's actually really good. So yeah, hopefully that statue doesn't end up looking like complete ass. And it actually looks like a real-life replica version of Barry. But yeah, just another frustrating game for the Lions. The Lions lose 31-27, they fall to 1-6. Like, the season's already over. Like, the Lions are just flat out tanking to try and get a top pick. Now, Now the question is, though, do they go defense with their first pick in the draft, or do they go for a QB? It's very tough to say. Because you look at the QB class from 2021, that QB class has looked fucking weak as shit because everyone in that class has looked like dog shit. Like, the only maybe shiny one is maybe Mac Jones, but he has regressed massively. Like, almost like every QB in that fucking class has sucked now. But yeah, just another frustrating game for the Lions. But yeah, just, man. Anyway, though, but at least the next 3 games look pretty winnable. Like, because the Lions got the Packers next week, and the Packers have been struggling. Like, they've had receiver issues all year, and the O-line has had issues protecting Aaron Rodgers. You also got the Bears because your toilet is a goddamn shit show. And, you know, there's also the Giants. Like, I know the Giants have that really good record, but don't let that record fool you. Because the Giants have just played ugly football and have just been able to succeed at it. But yeah, maybe the Lions, at this point this season, the Lions are just playing spoiler at this point to maybe try and put a wrench in a few teams' playoff hopes. But yeah, maybe try and get some wins the next 2 weeks against division foes, against Green Bay and Chicago, get them while they're down. Maybe get some wins against the Packers and the Bears. You know, because it's always good to beat division rivals. But yeah, anyway, I think that wraps it up here. Just, you know, another frustrating game with the Lions. At least the Wings and Pistons look promising this year to look fun to watch. This team has just been kind of frustrating to watch with their defensive issues. But anyway, I think that's it. I'm out.